welcome to today's tip on how to stop the drain on your mental and emotional energy so that you can have laser focus, less stress, be more productive, and improve sleep. In this series, I'm providing you with simple and practical ways to live with more ease and increase your energy and be more confident. I'm Donna Nelson, women's empowerment coach, organizational well-being consultant, speaker, and workshop leader. It is my mission to be able to empower, educate, and encourage others how to leverage their energy so they can be their best true self. So let's dive into today's tip. Today's tip is having the power to say no and being honest. This has a huge impact on how we direct our emotional and our mental energy. So here's what I mean by being honest and having the power to say no. I see this as a big challenge for women in both their personal and their professional lives. And it shows up in avoiding and not returning calls or not returning emails or not returning private messages on Facebook or just avoiding people like as if they've been abducted by aliens. And so I have found that one of the most empowering things that I can teach and that I've learned myself that has relieved a lot of mental anguish over not being able to say no or turn people down and creates a whole lot less stress in my life is having the power to say no by being honest. Here's what I mean. It's okay to say no, damn it. It's a word in the English language. It's a word in every language, I'm sure, to say no. When is it safe to say no? That's the question, right? What are the consequences? These are the things that we always look at. If there's something you don't want to do, just say something like this. I'm not interested in that right now. It kind of softens the blow, right? Like it gives an open door for another time. I would like to, but I have other priorities right now. It doesn't fit in my schedule today. It doesn't fit in my schedule next week. It doesn't fit in my schedule maybe ever. Sounds fun. It's just not in my budget right now. This was a big thing when I worked in a job, especially in call centers and big organizations, big offices where there's lots of people. Somebody's always selling something for their kid or some nonprofit organization, right? Can you buy a candy bar? Can you contribute to this? Can you contribute to that? And you could literally spend your entire paycheck contributing to all of the good causes that someone walks by your desk with. So I learned that some of the things I didn't believe in or I didn't want to contribute to, and I had to say no. So I created something that was true and that worked for me. And that is, I'd love to, it's not in my budget. I recently had a business colleague of mine send me an invitation to some program or something saying, hey, love to offer this program to you. It's very simple. When you have this level of emotional confidence and you're not already mentally and emotionally drained, to say, hey, sounds like a great program. It's not something that I'm interested in. And move on. There's nothing wrong with that. Believe me, people would rather you say, I'm not interested, than just disappear off of the face of the earth because you don't have a comeback that serves you and can serve them. So try some of these techniques. Okay, another one. Here's another tip that might be useful for you. I wish you the best with your venture. And I'd like to hear more about it sometime. The timing is not good for me at this time. That's a great response, isn't it? Of course you wish them the best. It doesn't have to be for you. You could like to hear more about it. You may know someone that could benefit from it. And if you don't open your mind to hear about it, how could you? So go ahead, hear them out. If you know someone that's good for it, go ahead, but it doesn't have to be for you. Here's the bottom line. Don't give a bullshit excuse like, I forgot, or I have plans that day, or it slipped my mind, or I forgot to add it to my calendar, or the dog puked and that's why I didn't show up, or some other crazy thing. So here's the thing. When you give a line of bullshit to somebody else about a truth for you, let's be honest, they know it, but more importantly is you know it at your core. And we all know that when we're not completely honest, it's an energy that drains us, right? It eats at us because we are good and honest people at our core, and we just don't want to carry around that energy. It's just that we don't have the tools to know how to direct it. So that's why I'm helping you with this today. You're in charge of your life. Feel good about your decisions. Making up excuses devalues you and the integrity of the other person or the group, as well as adding stress to you, because at some point you will have to face the music of the situation again. I found this when I first started my coaching practice and I was hosting live workshops. Had all of these people saying, "Oh, I can't make that date." And my response was, "Don't worry, I'm going to be doing lots more. You can make it to another one." So what's the problem with that for that person? And then what was the problem for me if I allowed that to penetrate my own energy? So the problem for that person is they're going to hear from me every single time I have a workshop that they absolutely are not interested in. Either they're not interested in supporting me, they're not interested in that topic, they don't want to get in their car and drive, they don't want to pay to come to the workshop. I don't know what it is, because people can't be honest by empowering themselves to say no or to speak up about what part of it doesn't interest them. And from my worldview, I would love to know what you're not interested in about it so that I can make adjustments to make it better and more interesting and more motivating for people to show up to my workshops. That would be totally awesome. Problem with that is you're going to hear from me every time, and you're going to put yourself in a position of being more and more disempowered, lowering your self-image because you don't have the power to say no. So this is super important. That is my tip for today on how to stop the drain on your mental and emotional energy. Have the power to say no and be honest. I'd love to hear your feedback on what you think of these tips. If there's a phrase that I gave you that you can now use that's going to make you feel more empowered. I hope this was encouraging for you. If you liked it, if you got anything out of this at all, please give me a thumbs up so that I know by clicking below, and just subscribe to this channel so that you get all the other tips that I'm going to share with you. And if you want to learn more about my work, you can go to donnanelson.us.